Hello there, and welcome to a new cybersecurity lesson. This time around, I want us to talk about 10 cybersecurity myths that people somehow believe in. Now, these are 10 sure ways of landing in hot water and exposing yourself to the numerous threats that lurk on the internet. So, if you're with me, then let's get started. Now, here are the most common security myths we need to know. The very first one is this can't happen to me. Only important or rich people are targeted. Boy, if you had a nickel for every time I heard that, I this security myth is named by many security expert security through obscurity. Now, in other words, it is considered that the internet is such a big place that no one cares about you. And even if someone would try to attack your system, there wouldn't be too much valuable data to be stolen. Now, in most cases, the users who embraces this kind of thinking don't actually want to lose time addressing their system vulnerabilities. Now, such wishful thinking often ends with the experience of a cyber attack. And this happens because it's not about how important you are. Yeah, it's not about how important you are, and it's nothing personal. Mostly it's because they are able to. They can hack you, they can get into your system and then harm you. Now, cyber criminals use automated tools to exploit your system's vulnerabilities, and they will take anything they can get, from your personal information to your internet connected system. Yes, even that's a valuable asset since they can use it for further malicious action. So, even if you think that you are not important or that your personal or financial data is insignificant, a potential identity theft or IT criminal can still exploit the little information discovered about you. They can relate it to other information taken from multiple sources, hello, like social networks, etc., and have a complete picture about who you are. Now, why risk when there are so many protection mechanisms and tools out there that are, and even some are even free that would keep you safe? So, stop thinking that nobody would attack you and that you are safe. As long as you have a digital identity, you are a valuable target. So, please take note of this myth. You are very, very important. Now, the second myth I'm going to be talking about is if I install this security application, I'll be fine. Now, you can also call this security myth the search for the magic bullet that can solve all your system security. Users that pay for a security program expect that their system is now bulletproof just because they installed the purchased program. Now, this myth represents a false image that was created by the marketing department. The PRs, the marketing or salespeople will tell you anything about their product just to reach their sales target. They would create the impression that everything is taken care of just by installing that single program. Now, anyone trying to convince you otherwise is lying. The truth is, no security solution is bulletproof. Now, putting your trust into one security program that's supposed to cover your system, your online actions, keep you safe against data and financial stealing, malware, and other non-traditional attack vectors means that you place too much trust in a single line of defense. What you need is to think about your system the same way you would imagine a fortress. The treasure in the middle and all the defense walls around it to keep the enemies at bay. One by one, you need to build those security walls. Don't place your trust into a single one. And more than anything, you need to stay up to date with your security level. Educate yourself and reject false stories that promise total protection by installing a single security program. And again, I would say this, most antiviruses out there are malicious, infested antivirus. Of course, they are there to protect you, and again, they are there also to steal vital information from you to the creator. So when trying to install any antivirus, research about it, read about it, get the understanding of the antivirus, read comments about it, check forums on that antivirus and be positive before installing that antivirus. Now, the third myth we are going to be looking at is this: I don't need security software. I don't access unsafe locations. Now, how many times didn't we hear someone saying that they don't need sorry they don't need anti-malware protection, that they are too smart to fall for the tricks used by cyber crooks? The truth is, many people believe that simple common sense is enough to stay safe from malware, phishing, identity theft, and so on. And if they are thinking about spam email attachments or clicking on intrusive pop-up ads, they may be right. But that's not the only danger. There are plenty of other malware attacks and vulnerabilities that are not visible. Now, cyber attackers are able to exploit safe websites and insert malware into their ads and furthermore into your system. You can access a safe, perfectly legitimate website that doesn't even require you to click on something and still get infected. Now, the tricks used by cyber crooks: when you think about cyber criminals, you might be tempted to reduce them to the hoodie clad lone wolf who does nothing but code stereotype. However, nowadays, cyber crooks are highly skilled in the art of digital illusion. They have a strong portfolio of tactics and knowledge, including what internet users like to do online and which brands they trust. Two, which wants and desires make these users act towards achieving them. Three, which technology products have the most vulnerabilities that can be exploited. Four, where they can purchase malware that can get them what they want, it being money, data, or both. And the last one, how they can build a business by recruiting more cyber criminals to spread their malicious software. So it's about time you stop saying, I don't need security software, I don't access unsafe locations. You can be accessing a very, very secured website and still get affected. Now, we have something we call the JavaScript codes that can be embedded into a legitimate website and still get infected. We can have advertisement on a legitimate website, but then behind that advertisement is a malicious code in there that can affect your system when you just click on it. So please, let's take note of these things. They are very, very important. Now, cyber groups, what social engineering can do. When all elements I've just mentioned come together, you get a rough definition of what social engineering is. Its mission is clear: to persuade the victim to give up confidential information or perform actions that cause a security breach. Anything you can think of, cyber criminals use on a daily basis: instilling fear, creating confusion, impersonating trusted people or entities, sabotage, and a plethora of other mind games. To bring down the bigger target, social engineers spend time thoroughly documenting their attacks. They have to make sure that their plan can be executed to perfection. If you've watched Mr. Robot, it's a movie, and if you have time, take time off your busy schedule and watch that movie. You know how it works. If you haven't watched it, please do. Now, the further you move from clear thinking and rational decision making, the stronger the grip that cyber criminals have on you. Now, to be safe online is quite similar to driving your car. You can get infected just as much as on a risky illegal website. Malicious software and their methods of spreading are in a constant evolution. And just because they can't be noticed, it doesn't mean that they are not there. Now, to be safe online is quite similar to driving your car. Again, you may have common sense and pay attention to potential dangers, but can you always predict what others around you are doing? And there's also the increasing danger posed by financial stealing malware. Yes, it's supposed to stay hidden while collecting precious data from your banking operations. So it could be days, even months, until you become aware of its existence. Do you still believe you don't need security? You really, really need it. Myth 4. I set a strong and complex password to my account, so I'll be okay. That is seriously wrong. Yes, don't count on that. Yes, it's strongly recommended that you set a strong password. So don't skip this essential step. It should be one that has more than 15 characters, both upper and lower cases, and must contain various numbers and symbols. Set a random one so it will be even more difficult for someone trying to break it. But keep in mind that having a strong password is not enough to keep cyber criminals away. It's just one of many security layers that will keep you safe. Next safety measure that you should check, your password should be unique. Yes, it should be unique. Don't reuse it, sorry, don't reuse it between accounts. Otherwise, a cyber crook would have access to all your digital assets just by breaching one of those accounts. So you're on social media, you're on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. You have your Gmail account, you have other third-party apps. You are not supposed to use just one password across them. Because if I'm able, or if a hacker is able to hack just one of those social media accounts or Gmail accounts or third party accounts, it makes it very, very easy to link those passwords to all other accounts of yours. So please take note of that. Now, afterwards, make sure you activate second factor authentication wherever it's available. It will work as an extra defensive wall that's even harder to be knocked down. However, these long, unique, and complex passwords have a major inconvenience. They are hard to remember. Yes, we all have tens of digital accounts, so it's easy to understand how setting these passwords, changing them constantly, and so remembering them become a burden. Try not to write them down, not on your PC, not in an email draft, not on some piece of paper that you keep on your desk. This would only increase the risk of unauthorized access to your account. Instead, to make things easier, you can keep them safe and encrypted with a password management software such as LastPass. Now, LastPass remembers all your passwords so you don't have to. Yes, it remembers everything from your addresses to your information on your credit cards, your Mastercards, and all your passwords. It would also notify you if the password you set are too easy and not unique. We would have a practical session on the last pass where I take you through it, how to go about it, and how to keep safe online. Now, the fifth myth we are going to look at is internet security is expensive, as most of you say. Our modern generation spends most of its time online. Yes, our activities do not include only socializing with friends on social media networks, but we also work online, shop online, access our bank accounts, and so on. Internet access isn't just a simple way of losing time and entertaining, it's an integrated part of our lives. How difficult is it for a cyber criminal to use the information we provide on our Facebook accounts and correlate it with data obtained from malicious software that infected our system? And from that point, how far is the moment when our identity is being used for malicious purposes? We all hear about cases when someone's online identity has been stolen and money removed from their banking account. What we don't hear is that recovering from such attacks takes time, perhaps even years. Now, a proactive internet security approach. And since an attack can occur from any part of the world, the perpetrators are rarely brought to justice. When you draw the line, you realize that not having a proactive internet security approach is actually more expensive. Now, with this information in mind, should we still a chance online? No, we don't have to. We don't have to at all. So it's time we start protecting ourselves so we don't fall victims of that. Because the moment we then fall victims, we end up spending a whole lot in retrieving all this vital information, and sometimes we don't even get them after paying for them. So please let's take note of that. Now the sixth myth you are going to be looking at is I op I only open emails from my friends, so I'm safe. Yes, because you open emails from your friends only, you think you're safe. This is a perfectly valid argument until you find out that you were tricked and that email just appeared to be from someone you know. Now, how many of us already received a strange email from a friend or from a work colleague? It's not difficult to spoof an email in order to display anyone's name as being the sender. Now, for someone who is less trained into detecting suspicious emails, all it takes is one click before getting infected with malware. Clicking on links or downloading the email attachment that you receive may easily install on your system. Some dangerous financial stealing malware that will remain hidden until the cyber crews get all your information. Such emails such emails may also appear to be coming from your work colleagues or financial institutions. They can look real enough to trick you into giving away your sensitive information. Yes. Now, as we go along, I would take you through a comprehensive guide that covers everything you need to know about phishing, how to detect it, how to prevent it, and what you can do in case it's already too late. So don't worry, we'll get into that. Now, myth 7. I only download and access information from trusted sources. This keeps me protected. Now, this is a security myth. Now, this security myth it's very, very difficult to break. Yes, most people think that accessing safe and secure locations and even downloading from those websites will keep them safe. Another common misconception, somehow related, is this one: it's on the internet, so it must be safe. Otherwise, it would have been taken down by law enforcement agencies. Now, the reality is quite different. Even if we access and download from a trusted source, we are still vulnerable to online dangers. Now, illegal websites can be launched overnight and disappear just as quickly, but they can also last for years and not get taken down. So don't count on the law enforcement agencies. They are usually overworked and can't keep up with cyber criminals' shenanigans. Now, malicious software developed by crooks is designed to remain hidden from classical antivirus detection. So, to stay safe, you can install a specially designed software that acts in a proactive way before getting infected and leaking your data to malicious hackers. It offers a layer of security that works complementary to the reactive nature of normal antivirus products. So please let's take note of this myth. Very, very important. Myth 8. My social networks are safe. Yes, my social networks are safe places. Friends will be friends. Are you sure about that? Now, when a social network becomes popular, you can bet that cyber crooks will be there. They can smell the potential new victims. Now, since so many people are easily connected, scammers develop tricks that target these networks. If online criminals can place malicious content like drive-by downloads and pop-up ads on safe websites, they can do the same with social media accounts. Now, when I say drive-by downloads is in two ways. The first one is downloading a malicious software without you understanding it. And the second one is a download being automatically done without you being aware of that. That is a drive-by download. Now, another danger encountered on social media accounts is posed by fake profiles and personas created by cyber criminals. Now, these are used to collect personal information about others. That information might seem irrelevant to you today, but it will help them operate identity theft. Therefore, be careful who you add to your list of friends on social media. Please take note of this. Myth 9. I don't have important information or sensitive data on my system or in my email account. Why should I worry? You sure do. You really need to worry. You are just not aware of it, or you don't consider it valuable. Didn't you let your browser remember all your passwords for you? For your online accounts, banking websites, and your email addresses, have you forgotten that when you opened Chrome to serve the internet, when you opened Chrome to check your Gmail account, when you opened Chrome to check your Facebook account, there was a pop up asking you, do you want to save this password? You said yes. So if you said yes, 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 yes to all those questions about your online activities, then you are you are going to be attacked, or you are prone to be attacked, because all those yes, yes, yes to the same passwords are there for a cyber criminal to just pick them up and then use them. Now, isn't your email account filled with personal conversations and photos? What about work contracts, invoices, tax forms? And didn't you connect it to all your other digital accounts, such as social networks, work accounts, cloud services, banking operations, and so on? You may think that your data is not important, but cyber criminals collect and assemble such information. Later on, they can use it to steal your identity or future, or further sell the information on the dark market. And even when there is no important data for a potential criminal on your system, they still can use your device in their own malicious purposes. Now, are you worried, or you are still not worried? Myth 10. In case I get infected, I will see that for sure. In case you get infected, you would see that for sure. Don't be so sure about it. Indeed, this used to be true. Now, in the past, when computers started to run slow and get annoying pop ups all over the screen, it was a sure sign of infection. Nowadays, cyber criminals improved their methods. They are more efficient and know how to disguise their attacks. In most cases, users can tell if their system is involved in spam campaigns or coordinated DDoS, that is distributed denial of service attacks. Malware is built to be undetectable and untraceable, even by antivirus software. Now, in order to retrieve the needed sensitive information, it may be months before you even notice them. So, install again a good antivirus product against classical attacks and a security program against financial and data stealing malware. Stay up to date with the latest security news and don't forget to back up. Very, very important. Don't forget to back up. That's very important. Most people will tell you it's my personal laptop and my personal phone, so I can have all my things there. What ifs? That is something you should have in mind. What if? There are always what if. So it's about time you started protecting yourself against cyber criminals and cyber attacks. It's about time you kept yourself up to date with cyber happenings around the globe. It goes a long way, a very, very, very long way to help you. Now, in conclusion to the 10 myths I needed you to take notice of, the main problem with these cybersecurity myths is that they make you drop your guard. Yes, malicious hackers do what they do by placing themselves in your own shoes. They know that most internet users show safe internet behaviors, and as a result, a lot of effort goes into disguising themselves and their plans as legitimate entities. Now, the most successful email phishing attacks are those that seem like the genuine thing. That is why it's important for you to always be prepared and not fall into a false sense of security. And this concludes our third lesson in our third lesson. Now, in our next one, we will be talking about some important terms that will keep coming up during our cybersecurity course. And that was that for today. And so, if you are listening in, this is the Crafty Man's podcast. That's a Shanty Woman chances. So, be you, love you, love to the world. Don't let anybody tell you you are not good enough, because you are the best thing that's ever happened to you. If you are listening in, you are loved and cherished. As always, peace and then love. This is it for today. till I come back to you again with a very important cybersecurity lesson. Stay safe and be good. I'm out for now. If you have any questions after listening, put them down, and I'm sure when there's time for us to discuss them, we'll delve into it through our Zoom platform and discuss it till we all get the understanding of today's lesson. That's a bye for now.